You guys, welcome back to King Oles, and yes, I'm now here for the best boxing promotion of 2023. And yeah, I've got my top five all in order. Five, so we're going to be starting at five, then we're going to be going to number one to see who is the best boxing promotion and promoter of this year. So anyway, at number five, we're going with Boxer and Ben Shalom. I didn't want to stick Golden Boy in here. I've been quite critical of quite a few of Oscar De La Hoya's decisions this year. But yeah, so in number five, we're going with Boxer. Golden Boy isn't even in this list, by the way. So number five, we're going with Boxer and Ben Shalom. There are definitely some big downsides to this promotion, but there are some upsides. First of all, it's only really an English promotion. Don't really see any fights over in America or anything with it. So the foreign audience might not be too familiar. I also feel like they don't put on enough shows, but I feel like the shows that they did put on this year were decent. We got obviously Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith twice this year, one in January, one in September. We've obviously got Krillin Smith versus Masternak as well that we had this year. And yeah, like overall, we've seen some decent ones. I think we've seen the odd prospect show with Adam Azim as well. Isaac Chamberlain was headlining in the main event as well. We have seen some decent cards overall this year. They just need to do it more, I feel like. They just need to be more active. They're the only boxing promotion with Sky Sports as their platform, as their streaming platform. So I don't know why they're not doing any more. Like they can. They've got some good stars on there. Like put out some more events. That's what they need to do. But yeah, the events that they have put out though have been pretty decent. But some better main events I do think we need though in Boxer. But people might say I'm a bit generous putting it five, to be fair, though, but you know, Oscar De La Hoya, I've been critical of him and Golden Boy this whole year, so I haven't really wanted to put them in my list. Okay, next up we've got four Queensberry Promotions with Frank Warren. Yeah, I mean, in a way, has it been a bit of an underwhelming year for Queensberry? Yes. I can't really think of any absolutely amazing event that they put on, though, to be honest with you. Like, they put on Tyson Fury and Ngannou, but it's not like that really did great, though, is it? I don't think this year was the most amazing year for Queensberry. They've had some real good, high quality fights on their prospect shows. So to be fair, some really good fights on their prospect shows, which have been really enjoyable to watch. To be fair, that's definitely been good from them. I thought, you know, they did well with obviously, you know, they did put on a big fight at the start of this year, Arthur Beterbiev versus Anthony Yard. I think that was a great fight that they put on. And in my opinion, that was the fight of the year, as I said in my fight of the year video. I think, you know, we've seen some good fights from Queensberry this year. And, you know, they put on some good high quality even matchups. I thought the Dennis McCann versus Baluta fight was good. Like, yeah, Queensberry haven't done a bad job this year. They put on some good, solid 50-50s. But I feel like name-wise, it hasn't really fully been there. But, you know, they put on some good, high-quality matchups this year, though. So, yeah, need to give Queensberry and Frank Warren credit for that. Okay, next up, we've got Top Rank Boxing with Bob Arum. This is an interesting Top Rank are an interesting one. We've seen some robberies this year on Top Rank, but they put on some big fights. We've seen George Kambosos versus Maxi Hughes. Well, it's a robbery as well, wasn't it, that one? But, you know, it's a big fight that was made. Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Controversial, but, you know, a big fight that was made again. Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos for the WBC title, you know. Good fight on paper, but when it was made, but now looking back at it, it's probably one of the most boring and worst fights of this year. Top Rank have been a really interesting promotion this year. I mean, we've seen Effie Anjaba as well. We saw Navatre and Oscar Valdez as well, which was a really good fight. We've seen some good ones. I've just forgotten another one which I was thinking of as well. What was the other one I was thinking of? I don't remember. Yeah, we've seen Luis Alberto Lopez as well on them. Like they put on some good cards this year, to be honest with you. Top rank with a decent co-main event leading up to the main event, and some big names on their cards as well. I feel like it's been a good year for Top Rank overall with the matchups that they put out, but I feel like there's been quite a few robberies for on them though, and a lot of controversial decisions, which I do think they do need to be questioned for with the on the judging side of things. It wasn't really amazing for them on that side of things, but yeah, they put on some big fights this year. Fair play. Okay, next up, number 2, Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, number 2. They put on some good shows, to be fair. They have put on some real good, solid shows. Obviously, building up AJ again, of course, which is good. AJ's build up year, him and Franklin. We've seen AJ and Hellenius with a decent undercard. And obviously, they were a big part of the Day of Reckoning as well, with AJ versus Wallin. They've had 2 great fights with Cordina this year, which was fantastic, of course. And yeah, some big fights up in America as well, Foster and Hernandez. Like we've seen some big fights that Matchroom have put out this year. To be honest with you, they have done well this year. To be honest with you, Matchroom, like Lee Wood, they had 2 fights with 3 fights with Lee Wood, actually, 2 with Lara and 1 with Josh Warrington. Like they've been doing a good job this year. They have been doing a good job this year. Oh, for Queensberry, I also forgot to say they did well by picking on the Joyce and Zhang fights for Queensberry. That's what I want to say. Back onto Matchroom, I think has it been one of their best years ever? No, but we've seen some half decent fights with them this year, though. To be honest with you, it has been decent for them this year, and some good even matchups as well from Matchroom. I think overall not been a bad year at all from them. And obviously, I think number 1's obvious. It's PBC and Al Hammond. I think that's obvious. They put on massive fights this year, PBC. We've seen Crawford versus Spence. We've seen Canelo versus Charlo. We've seen Benavidez versus Andrade. We've seen Tank versus Garcia. We've seen massive fights from PBC. They put on some massive fights this year, to be honest with you. Some absolutely massive fights, massive promotion behind them as well. I feel like it was great stuff to see from them. I was about to say Canelo and Ryder, but Matchroom promoted that. So credit to Matchroom for promoting Canelo and Ryder as well. That one did. That one, it was a good show overall, that one. So credit to Matchroom for that one. But yeah, PBC, they put on probably the best fights this year, if we're being honest with you. And they put on the fights that the fans want to see. And yeah, honestly, it's been great. Tank Garcia, we wanted to see that for ages. Crawford Spence, wanted to see that for ages. Benavidez Plant as well. Benavidez Andrade. We've seen some great fights, and most of their fights has been fights of the year as well. Great promotion as well. They promote their fights really well. It's just great from PBC. Done all the right things this year, putting on the fights that the fans want, and we want more of that in 2023. I feel like with PBC, I'm always the most excited for their fights. They just have a real good, really exciting fight hype, and just really exciting big fight feel to them. The PBC events that they always do. It's great to see. We've seen Frank Martin on the cards as well on the show. Yeah, we've just seen what we wanted to see from them. Let's be real. We've seen Boots as well out on fight which has big fight feel. It's just great stuff, to be fair, from PBC. We've seen fights we wanted to see, and that's the promotion that we want. And they all have a big fight feel to it. So PBC and Al Hammond are by far number 1. They are by far superior at the moment, in my opinion, 100%. Matchroom is second, and PBC are way up. Matchroom are here, PBC are up there. That's the gap. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching the video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.